Now we got testing, more and more testing, right? I'm reading these articles and I'm seeing these pictures of people on these long lines getting tested for COVID. Now, these aren't people that are sick. These are people that are fine, that are going to get tested because the holidays are here. The media, the left is saying how you're going to expose people to the coronavirus, blah, 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 right? See these lines, people waiting for six hours in line. You know, on these things, you know, with these pictures, it kind of looks like these super spreader events, right? Where these large crowds and everything. These are minor details, though. So, you got these people getting tested. And my thing is this. If you're feeling fine and there's nothing wrong with you, why are you getting tested? There's no reason for you to go and take that test. Absolutely no reason to me. You know? Now, they're saying, oh, you could be asymptomatic. But then first they were saying that people that are asymptomatic, they're the ones that are spreading it, right? And they're dangerous because they're the ones that are spreading this disease, right? This virus. Then they said that asymptomatic people aren't spreading it, right? So which one is it? Which one is it really? Okay, we don't even really know, right? So you're gonna go get tested, right? But now we also know that there's a lot of false positives. So you're getting tested, you're coming back with a false positive. That positive is going into that database of all the people that tested positive for the coronavirus, right? So now more and more people have the coronavirus. You know, more people getting tested, more people are testing positive, whether they have it or not, right? Which then leads to, look, the cases are going up. It's out of control. We got to shut down again. We got to close the bars. We got to close the restaurants. We got to close the schools. We got to close everything, right? So to me, that's kind of a game that they're playing. I see the left, my personal opinion. You know, so now you're giving the government more power, more control over your life. Where does it stop? Where does it end? You know, they're talking about the vaccines. Personally, I'm not taking a vaccine at all. I've never even taken the flu vaccine. I don't plan on taking this new vaccine. You know, that's just my personal feelings on that. But everyone's gonna get the vaccine. Then they're talking about, oh, you can get the vaccine. You know, they got this retard Fauci. Fauci's talking about, oh yeah, when you get the vaccine, you got to still socially distance and wear a mask. So then, what's the point of taking the vaccine then? You know, what's the whole point? You know, so you're gonna have more and more cases now because more and more people are getting tested. You know, and they're very, very dishonest. Very, very dishonest with the way they frame everything, with the numbers that they put out, right? So you see the numbers skyrocketing, you automatically assume, oh, people are dying left and right. And what they do is they add to the total of people that passed away from the coronavirus, right? They add to the total, right? So whatever it's up to, let's say it's 230,000, right? I forgot what it's up to. Let's say it's 230K, right? They just continue to add to that. Now, in the beginning, when all those people, quote unquote, died, we don't even know if those numbers were accurate because there was a lot of funny stuff going on with the numbers. You know, we don't know if all those people actually died from it. So what you're doing is you're just continuing to add to it to make it look worse. That's what you're doing. You know, you're not saying, okay, within the last 3 months, this is how many people were infected versus how many people are dying. So people can see the progression. People can see, oh, well, things are getting better. Less people are dying now. Despite more people getting tested, despite the numbers going up, less people are dying. You start with a fresh number, like, okay, let's say 30,000 died in the last 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. You know, I'm just throwing numbers out there. But what they do is they just add to that total. So it's going to always seem like you're going to say, oh shit, 1 million people died, right? But did 1 million people really, really, really die? Because with that those initial numbers, when they were so high, did they really die from it? And even if they did, all you're doing is adding it and you're framing it in such a way that you just see that one number. You know, 5 people could have died, for example. You know, let's say last month, whatever. I'm sure it's more than that, but let's say it was 5, right? But you see that other number of the previous months, right? What impression does it give? And then that, you know, it goes back to the lockdown, the control. You know, I just think this whole thing is a joke with more and more testing now. You know, if you're not sick, if you feel fine, you know, don't get tested. That's my personal opinion. And if you're worried about your family and stuff like that, then people who have conditions, then maybe they shouldn't be around. You know, I hate to say it, maybe they shouldn't be around, you know, in that situation, you know, during that time. That's just my opinion. But, you know, what the hell do I know, right? It's just one man's opinion. I gotta say something about New York, you know, and it breaks my heart because that city, I grew up in, I'm always going to love that city. You know, I had the best times of my life in that city, the most important times of my life. And to see what's happened to it, man, it's so sad. You got the incompetent mayor over there, the bozo, who's a complete and total disaster, you know. But the guy that really gets on my last fucking nerve is that fucking jerk off, low life Cuomo. This guy gets up there and he thinks like he's a gangster, you know. He thinks like he was doing like an Al Pacino impersonation from Serpico, the way he sounded, you know, in that press conference where he's going back and forth with the reporter, and he thinks he's a gangster, thinks he's a tough guy. I cannot stand him, man. He thinks like he's God and his word is final, you know, and nobody can even question anything that he says or that he does. This guy's just a scumbag, just a total scumbag. I got no respect for him at all. And to see him get an Emmy, you know, I thought it was a joke. When I saw the article, I thought it was like satire or something like that. Then it comes to find out that this guy actually is getting an Emmy, like a daytime, I think it's a daytime Emmy award for his COVID press conference. Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ.